Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff, aka Gcurse here. I recently finished my Sunday morning retro of Turok Dinosaur Hunter. This was HD remastered that came out a few years ago. I played it on the Series X. Now, with the exception of a couple levels that really gave me some difficulty, the game was overall pretty fun. Granted, I did use some cheats. Mainly in certain cases, I used invincibility. I always had all the weapons, and I had infinite ammo. And for these kind of games that were released in the 90s, it's only kind of natural. You're going to want to have all the weapons in the very beginning. And I'm glad that I did, because even though the game was fun, with the exception of a couple levels being difficult to navigate, it's nice to just have a full arsenal of weapons already at your disposal. However, this leaves the question, am I going to be continuing Sunday Morning Retro? And the answer is yes. But here's the thing, you get to pick what game I play next. I'm going to give you guys some choices, and you're going to be able to vote on it. So let's get on with it right now. Here are your choices in the beginning, or choices. We have Mega Man, the very first Mega Man game. We have Castlevania. We have Wolfenstein 3D, and we have River City Ransom. Okay, so first we have Mega Man. Now, this is a game I actually never played. I never even touched this franchise at all. I've seen it, but I've never played it. I figured that this would be a good starting point for me to get into this game. The only thing I know for sure is that this is done by Capcom, and that's about it. I don't even recall if my cousin or my cousins had any of these games. Me and my cousins, we kind of grew up all in the same area where I live now. Everybody's gone, but I'm still here. But when we would go over to each other's house, I don't never recalled anybody having this series at all. We had a lot of very different video game series, but never this one. Yeah, so like I said, that's why I decided to choose this as one of the candidates for you to vote on. Okay, up next we have Castlevania. This is a game that my cousin Peter actually had. When we were going to elementary school, there would be times that I would spend the night at his house, because he actually lived only a couple blocks from the elementary school that me and him went to. I would get up in the morning, and when I would wake up, I would go into the living room, and I'd actually see him playing this game. I never actually got to play this game, but from what I could see when he played it, that it kind of had like supernatural creatures. I think it had, like, well, as you can see here, you had vampire bats. I think ultimately you fight Dracula. So I think that's what the ultimate end goal is of this game. This game is done by Konami, if I remember correctly. It looks like it says it in the corner over there. But yeah, so this would I have the I bought the what do we call it? I think it's called the Anniversary Collection, and it has a whole bunch of Castlevania games on it. And this is one of them. I figure if I play this, then later on down the road, people can vote for the follow-up uh Castlevania games. But yeah, so this would be a good starting point. This is also going to be played on the Series X, because that's what I bought the Anniversary Collection on. But this was, like I said, this was originally from the Nintendo Entertainment System. Up next, we have a game that I played a lot when I was younger. We have Wolfenstein 3D. Now, you're wondering, Jeff, if you played this game already, why is it on this list? And the answer is simple. This is the same situation that Turok was. I got this game, or I got a copy of this game a long time ago from a friend of mine. His name was Chris. And I'm not sure if it was the right way of doing it or the wrong way of doing it, but he gave me a copy of this game. Now, back then on the older computers, you could just copy games onto a disc and give them to your friends. There was no real copyright protection or anything back then. However, I'm not sure if he did it the correct way or whatnot, but I'm guessing what should have only taken like 1 or 2 discs or however many the norm was for to hold this game. He ended up doing like 15 plus discs. I mean, like I ended up having like a stack of I think it was like the 3.5 hard discs. I had a stack of them, but yeah. So once I finally got it loaded up on the computer at my home at the time, I played the game, and the problem was it's like it was with Turok. I'm the type back then, I think it was more of just you wanted to be able to finish a game, and then when they give you so many routes and everything, it kind of just turned me off when I was younger. That's kind of like how it was with Turok. Turok was, there were large levels in that game, and I'd get kind of bored. I'm glad to say that I think that that's kind of I've kind of mellowed when it came to that because I will play some of these longer games now. But so I would like to actually start from the very beginning and work my way to the very end of that game. This is I bought this a long time ago, but I haven't really played it on I bought a port of it for the Xbox 360. However, I have it downloaded for the Series X, so I'll be playing it on the Series X. But yeah, so Wolfenstein. And this is Wolfenstein 3D and Turok are not the only two games that I kind of only zipped around, Like I zipped around, if I remember correctly, in Duke Nukem 3D, I think that's what it's called. Also known as Duke Nukem 64. And I think I also did that with the original Doom games. So, and the thing is, I also have those games on my Xbox profile also, so I can always, later on, I can always bring those up for votes, But yeah, so we have Wolfenstein 3D. Okay, finally we have River City Ransom. This is a game that I love. However, due to the level of difficulty and the fact that this is one of those type of games that was kind of like Battletoads, if you remember. If you ever play Battletoads, you'll know what I'm talking about, that you could actually beat up each other. So this is one of those games. I used to play this game a lot with my friend Seth when I would go and visit my father, because my father would have visitation like for winter break and summer break. So me and my friend Seth, we would actually spend days and days and days playing this game. And sadly, we didn't really get that far because what would always end up with us promising that we were not going to fight each other. We were going to fight the bad guys. We are going to fight the enemies. What always started off with that promise would de-evolve into us just fighting each other. And the thing is that we'd always start doing that because like we'd be fighting the enemies, and one of us would accidentally hit the other person, and of course we would start fighting each other. Then it's like watching professional wrestling. You have a tag team, and they're a tag team match, for example, and one of the tag teams, it's always the face tag team. They're having problems. And maybe a line is crossed or something, like miscommunication. And that face tag team, they start imploding in front of the bad guys, in front of the heels. That's kind of like what it was with me and Seth when we play this game. It's like, dude, I thought we were going to hit each other. Well, it was an accident, Jeff. And then I'd hit him back just to be like, okay, now we're even. Then he hit me, and it would literally de-evolve into an all-out just fight fest, But yeah, it is a fun game. This is a side-scrolling beat 'em up. Oh, God. Can't recall which company made this game, but this is good. I also have this on the Series X. The funny thing is, if I remember correctly, the sprites used in River City Ransom are also the same sprites that are used in Super Dodgeball. Now, if you watched my Saturday night Super Dodgeball gameplay that I did a few weeks ago, you'll know that I love Super Dodgeball. So it feels like these two games just kind of go together. But yeah, so River City Ransom is your fourth choice to vote on in this poll. Okay, so there you are, ladies and gentlemen. Here, once again, are your choices. You have Megaman, the cult classic Megaman. You have another cult classic. These are all basically cult classics. You have Castlevania. Both Megaman and Castlevania are, along with River City Ransom, were all on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Wolfenstein, it was PC, but it was ported also to the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. You have Wolfenstein that I just mentioned, and finally you have the beat 'em up fun of River City Ransom. Now, you're curious, where is this vote being held? And I'm glad you asked. If you go to YouTube, which you're watching this already, unless you're on Facebook also, but if you're watching this on, anyway, if you go to my profiles, I have two profiles. One is my standard channel that I use for basically non-gaming content. You can find it in the community tab, or if you go to my gaming channel, you can also find it in the poll in the community tab there. Just so you know, I forgot how the polls worked on YouTube. I thought it actually gave a specific number of like how many votes were given per choice, and it's actually not like that. It is actually based on percentage, like a percent. So basically, the game that has that is the outright winner via percentage will be the one that gets picked. However, if it ends in a tie, like say 50-50 or whatever, I will take the two games that were tied, and I will do another like a runoff poll, and we'll see which one wins then. And if it continues being a tie, then I will, on camera, I will somehow do like a coin flip or something. And whatever wins, or whatever whatever the coin lands on, will be the winner. But yeah, so that's how you can participate in the poll. Okay, so just before I head off, I just thought I'd do a quick update to see how voting is going. I'm not expecting that many votes because my channels are pretty small, but so far there has actually been some activity. On the Gcurse gaming page, a person has already voted for Castlevania, so we got Castlevania. And then on my productions page, there's actually two votes, and they're both for Castlevania. So right now it looks like Castlevania is in the lead right now, but we still have a few days because this poll is going to be open until, oh yeah, here we go. The posting will go until December 28th at noon, which is a Saturday, if I remember correctly. So let me check. Yeah, next Saturday, basically. So basically we have about 6 days, and then at noon, I will see which game has the most votes, and we'll just take it from there. But yeah, so that's basically what I want to do. I just wanted to give you guys, an update and the choice about what you can vote on. So I will see you next Sunday for the next Sunday morning retro. My name is Jeff, aka Gcurse. Wishing you all a great day. Stay safe, everybody. Peace out.